Yeah, all right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you again for joining 3PAE. This is 3P African Educators, and it is our 17th webinar where Africans share with Africans, educators, Africans. This is 3PAE as well, and today I'm Taiwa Philips, manager at 3P Nakiva Addiction Mental Health Team, and I will be hosting with Philips Sylvia. And our topic today is really exciting that we shall be sharing about 3P related to children and parents. And we shall discuss more about how 3P has really been helpful to children and parents as well. And we shall go ahead to see how Zahara Teaches What is Love, that book. And we shall be sharing today about this great topic, which is 3P rated children and parents. And majorly, before I read about our part 5 of Zahara Helps the Student, I would like to share a story that touched me around while I'm visiting villages when we are sharing 3 principles around this Nakiva refugee settlement. So when we have set up a groups that we are meeting, usually that we have scheduled to meet every week. So before we could meet in the villages, it was really something that was hard for people to understand exactly what we are talking about. But now, since we have continued sharing to people, sharing to groups of what 3P is, sharing much more about love, sharing much more how happiness is really free, how people should share what they have regarding love and the rest. So last week when I was moving to the group, which is now the new arrivals in the refugee settlement, the group we have set up, I found up a group of kids on the way. And this group of kids on the way, they were really looking helpless, looking hungry. Even the clothes were torn, as you know, refugees, how they live. So I had to stop because I was on the motorcycle going to teach one of the group. So after stopping there, the parents did not know why I'm stopping because they were just near watching. So when I stopped like looking at the kids or maybe greeting them and seeing how they are, they started saying, you come, like they were maybe afraid of why I have stopped, why I'm on the way, I was moving on the way, and I have stopped to maybe greet the kids or even them how they are feeling. Now they started like calling them to come over them. So I had to call also parents to come near me so that we can share. And when I called them, some parents came, some did not come. But still, I gave them like around 10 minutes to share to them how I'm feeling so that they can also feel contented in the environment that they are in. So one of the kids was holding, it is called, it's a sweet potato. But that one, I don't know whether he has just looked for it on the way when they were moving. So that boy was really eating that. It was almost, I may say it was a rotten sweet potato because he was hungry. So when I tried to share to them, how are you feeling? So the parents were not even bothering of what I'm sharing because they were saying, for us, you see, Nakivale, so you see now the settlement, we are having many challenges, even our kids, you see now, thing they are getting, we are hungry at home, we are hungry. But I had to cool them down by sharing that they really need to feel themselves. They really need to thank God for where they are now. Not complaining of the condition, or that has been happening to their home countries, not complaining of why maybe the kids are hungry, but really looking at the beauty of themselves, how they are living now. So now, when I share to them much about love, if they love themselves, they will still love their kids and their life will be easier. They're now looking in another perspective, seeing that if now they are living in the refugee settlement and they are not bothered about themselves, you find now the kids are also living hopeless because the parents are also living a hopeless life. So I had to share them how it is really more important to show love to themselves the same way the kids will cope that. So it was really something amazing that now the parents had to thank me and see that it is a good idea that even if they are passing through many challenges, but it is really a good idea that they should first love themselves. And then another big thing they did not know, they said we have come from our home areas and we have left happiness there. They didn't know that happiness is within them. They didn't know that the feeling that they had to feel will now create either negative feeling or positive feeling. So at the end of 10 minutes when I was sharing to them, everyone was happy. Just not because I gave them money, I did not give them money, but I gave them wisdom, understanding that what they feel should now be coped by their children, and the same way the children can still transfer that even into schools or even into the environment they are going in, on how they are living. So it was a way of seeing that everything can be changed if they feel change is possible. Because they were thinking as if they are living in the refugee settlement, then there is nothing possible again. Hopelessness, living as if, and now I feel distorted, nothing. But now I shared to them and their mood was really raised and they had to go home happy with their children, like shaking with their children because they had understood much more about love and understanding that the feeling they get is the same way they can transfer to the children. If they have the negative feeling, then the children will cope that, and it will now be like a way of living, of complaining, of seeing hardship that will not end. So it was really a good experience seeing or finding people, finding parents and children on the way, seeing as if they are squeezed, but leaving them seeing light, not because I provided them physical help, but understanding that spiritually, if they understand their thinking and their feelings, it can change life among themselves. So I have seen now, when I now move around their houses, I see them happy. I see them happy because they have understood the love in them. And now when I pass, kids are now saying, Jambo. They are saying, how are you? Because the happiness, they didn't know that happiness is something free and it is within. It is within. So I had to meet them and share to them what I was feeling. And eventually, the good feeling I had has transferred into them, and now they are living happy. So I think that story can make some more understanding about that. And I will read more about how Zahara helped Rumu to know that even if he was much more in playing football, he did not understand that even if he concentrates on school or also learning, that feeling in himself, inside himself, it can happen. So we shall read that at the end of this show. So I welcome you, Sylvia, also to share something. Then after we shall.
Zahara helps a student. Zahara would often go and watch the young boys play football. Her eye often turned to Luam, who seemed to be gifted in his football abilities. He was a very confusing boy for the teachers to accept, as he was a natural leader on the school football field, but very disruptive in his school learning. Yet on the football field, the boys naturally followed his lead, laughing at his jokes and marveling at his cleverness in the game. His confidence radiated like the sun, unmistakable and bright. However, in school, he would often talk out loud, making a lot of jokes, which were very upsetting for the teachers to accept. He rarely would do his homework, and when he was not joking around, he basically seemed to be sleeping or bored in class. Most teachers assumed he wasn't capable of learning, but Zahara saw things differently. Zahara loved the spirit of the boy and wondered if she could help Luam begin to enjoy school with some of that confidence and enthusiasm that he showed on the football field. She asked if she might have a friendly chat with Luam after school, and although he was not too keen, he agreed. She brought along 2 cookies and soda pops for them to share, and they found a peaceful spot in the nearby forest where they could talk quietly. Zahara asked Luam to share why he enjoyed football so much. He said it just seemed to come naturally for him, and he loved the feeling of playing. My heart feels so good, and I forget about everything else except playing football. Zahara said, do you know what athletes who are naturally gifted call that feeling when you forget everything else except playing football? No, said Luam. It's called being in the zone, Zahara explained. You forget everything except the magic of the moment, the thrill of letting the spirit express itself through you. Your body and mind move in perfect harmony with the energy of the game and the ball. Some even say you become one with the ball. To her surprise, Luam nodded, saying he understood exactly what she meant. It was the reason he loved football so much. He smiled and said, I get that same feeling when I dance to music. My feet and body are flowing with movements that surprise even me. I love that feeling. Exactly, said Zahara. You are in the flow with the music, just as you are in the flow with what is happening on the football field. Zahara asked Luam, do you think you can have that feeling when you are in school? Luam looked thoughtfully at Zahara with amazement. Well, I have never felt it. Zahara noticed a big drop in the mood of Luam as he changed from happiness about talking about sport and music to a sad feeling about school. Zahara laughed and said, let's have our cookie and pop now. This relaxed Luam, and he began sharing his true feelings about school. Zahara simply listened, enjoying her time with this fascinating student. Luam began casually talking. I actually find school boring. None of the teachers seem to care about me. At home, both my mom and pop are always criticizing me. They never say anything nice to me. I feel it is the same in school. Why should I make an effort when they are always assuming I do not know the answer? I like to learn, but can't we have fun doing it? Zahara spoke gently. Yes, some teachers may seem too serious, but they're doing their best. However, your happiness comes from you, not them. You know I teach happiness is free. You should not give up your happiness. It is irresponsible to do this, and all it does is make you not have fun. Can you see that, Luam? Luam again surprised Zahara. I know this to be true, but what do I do when they are always complaining about me? Zahara encouraged him. You find a good feeling inside yourself, and you let that good feeling guide you to your happiness. All of a sudden, Noam smiled. You know, you are right. I will try that and see if that works. Noam went to school the next day with a changed attitude. He was curious to see if a good feeling could lead him to the happiness he knew existed in everybody. To his surprise, it did. When one of the girl students laughed at him for being so stupid, he simply tapped into that good feeling and found that her words did not touch his heart. When a teacher doubted he knew an answer, he smiled at her and told her he did know the answer, but he just needed a moment to calm his mind down. And then he told her the correct answer. Over time, Loam noticed that learning in the classroom was much like playing on the football field. All he needed to do was get in the zone and enjoy the experience. He had learned that if he could do this with music and football, he could do it at school. He even joined the dance club at school, and he loved that as much as playing football. To his surprise, so did his parents. After sharing with Luam, Zahara thought these would be good questions to ask her class. Question 1. What did Luam understand about happiness? Question 2. Is happiness free? Question 3. What does being in the zone mean? And why do athletes love this state of mind? Question 4. Can you become one with the ball? How?
And I believe also the listeners have enjoyed it. And I just want to encourage you guys that we are going to be hearing that every time of the webinar. Every time of the webinar, we are going to be hearing that. So at this moment, I would like us to have questions. I'm seeing Christian Heritage Center. You guys are welcome. I'm seeing Joseph. Joseph, you're welcome. Who else is here? I'm seeing Gavin and Bernard. You guys are welcome. So even those ones online, you guys are also welcome. Those on Facebook. So is there anybody with a question in among us? You want to know anything about 3P related to children and parents, or you have some addition, something to say? This could be the right time, or anything about what you've had Jim reading about Zahara.
I hope that I'm audible enough.
Yes, please, you are.
Yeah, so this is Jervin talking from Nakivale Refugee Settlement. And I'd like to share a little bit about what we are sharing here with the children on the 3P. First of all, I'd like to talk a bit about what I have learned from today's session about 3P being connected to children and parents. So what I've learned today is that first of all, the 3P really are helpful when it comes to the children and the parents. And this is when the parent tries to see how to connect with the children, especially what we heard from the story which has just been read. Zahara understood the child, the student, and he had this kind of feeling of compassion for the child. And that compassion, instead of being very controlling towards the child, Zahara opened up to the child, approached the child, and opened the room for dialogue. And in this moment of dialogue, that is where the child also felt to be open to Zahara and discuss and share with her about what he really likes and the things that make him to be happier. So the 3P help us to have this sense of dialogue, compassion with each other. And it is through that that people can learn to understand one another and to see that sometimes people also have their own way of seeing things. And instead of being judgmental like the other teachers had been judging the child, Zahara was very compassionate towards the child. And that really helped the child a lot in developing both personally and also in the classroom. So going back to what we are sharing here with the children, we have been having sessions and it has really been amazing, especially when we talk to the children and we hear when they share the impact that they have been receiving and seeing in their personal lives, whereby some of them have been sharing about how they feel, just like the student from the story, when they are out from their homes, when they are here at the center, they feel more open to talk and to share about their own experiences compared to when they are at home, because the parents at home don't give them that possibility of opening themselves and sharing about what they think and how they feel. So most of the times the parents are not that much compassionate and really closer to the children. The other thing is that the children have understood, especially when it comes to feelings, they have understood that the way that they feel, it doesn't come from the external world, but it starts with their own mindset. It starts with their own thoughts, how they see things and how they think about them. That is what is going to create the feeling that they are going to have. So one student recently shared that because I've been receiving some new refugees coming from Congo, especially with the ongoing war. So we received one newcomer who just came to attend the class for the first time. And when we shared about the way that our own thoughts shape our own feelings and reality of life, this student said, like, when I heard that we are going to a refugee settlement, I felt like my own life is going apart. I felt like I've lost everything in life, because the way that we hear about refugee settlements, it's like a place where someone cannot survive. It's like you are losing everything in an instant. But after reaching here and seeing how things are going and coming to the session, we talked and shared with one another. And this person understood that the way that I see things and the way that I think about the place where I am is what is going to make me feel the way I'm going to feel. We shared about some successes, some people who have been successful in this place. They came here with nothing, but today they are called someone, because they did not have that mindset or that thought that where I'm going or where I am, my life is over. So with that one, this student understood that even if I am also today in the refugee settlement, I can still do something. I can still manage to become someone. Many of these have been dropping out of school and others not going to school because they've been saying, where will you take education which you got from a refugee settlement? It is just a waste of time and resources. It will not help you. But today they understand that when you are educated, even in a refugee settlement, you can still make it in life. We have people who got educated here in the refugee settlements, and today they have good
Gavin.
jobs. Yes, please.
Yes, you try to summarize for the time, please.
Yes. So in summary, we have been having our sessions and everything has really been going well. We have seen a lot of stuffs going on and a lot of impacts, which has really made these students to understand mostly about the role of the thoughts in their personal lives, how it has an impact on their lives. The thoughts can have either a positive impact or a negative impact. And that is really such a big success, because the children now know how to focus on thoughts which are going to bring a positive impact in their lives, and not to hold on to thoughts that are going to bring a negative impact. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gavin, for your addition and for the encouragement. We appreciate so much, and I believe somebody has picked something out of your speeches. And thank you for the great job you're doing wherever you are. Yeah, we appreciate, and God Almighty appreciates, and we're happy that you're part of the 3P team. So do we have anybody?
Sylvia,
yes,
I have something to say.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for today's topic. It's touching in my life. It's the same experience I'm going through as a single mother. So my child, I have a daughter, she loves playing football so much. And this has affected everything in her life. She just loves only football. She doesn't want to wash. She just loves hanging out where football is. So this came at the right time. Thank you. As a single parent, what I've been lacking is teaching her to be happy inside and being friendly to her. And we talk about that issue. Why does she love only football? Yeah, it has come at the right time. I thank Harry, I thank Philip and Sylvia. Then I have a question. How can a single parent do the parenting, the work as a single parent? How can you parent well a child who is a teenager, and then also you do work?
Okay. Thank you, Elizabeth. That is Elizabeth from Christian Heritage Center, Uganda. Yeah, thank you for the appreciation, and thank you for the question you've asked. Let me try to answer it. And if anybody wants to add on it, you're free to add on it. As a single parent, how are you supposed to teach or to groom your kid? I should say, I think it matters for you to have both parents, but in circumstances where you find that you are only a single mom or a single dad, first thing you have to acknowledge that I'm alone taking care of this kid. And the results of this kid will depend on me as the mother or the father. Now that I am the mother figure and I'm the father figure, I have to try and get the best out of my child. So you need to balance time for work and time for home or your kid. But since you're a single parent, I propose you give much time to your child. However, you love work, and working has hours, but of course, the more hours you spend at home, I propose you spend them with your child. And as I said before, a parent who has learned about 3 principles, I think it's not going to matter a lot when you're a single parent. 3 P's doesn't work with either being single or being together. 3 P's works individually. So when you apply it, Elizabeth, to your kid, as you do it, you teach your kid, this is how I want you to be, this is how it should be, this is how you should love, this is how you should forgive, this is how you should have the positive mind. I know you love football, you can make it. We've seen so many kids and they are poor in class, but when they come to co-curricular activities, they excel. And we've seen so many kids developing and getting a lot of whatever pleasures in their activities that they know, not school activities. So as a parent, if you get what your kid likes and you encourage him or her, you boost him up to be the best fan, the best supporter, and then she knows that I can find refuge in mommy. I can find is my number one fan, my strong supporter. I think, Elizabeth, to me, you'll have conquered. If you win the trust and the love of your kid, and you only win it when you're always available as a parent. To me, it doesn't matter whether you're 2 or you're 1, you can still get the best result out of your child, depending on how you're grooming him. Thank God you know the 3 P's. And I strongly believe with the 3 P's, you can bring out the best in that child, Elizabeth. To me, that's what I think. Hopefully, I've tried to answer you a little.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, have I tried?
You've done the best. You're the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Attending today's webinar. Thank you for participating. Thank you for staying around and learning and sharing. And I pray that we keep sharing and we keep practicing what we teach to our kids, to our neighbors, our community, places of work, wherever we are. Let us keep doing the same good thing, and God will reward us. And I continue to encourage you to keep reading Seeding Bank's books. And if you want to really find us, you can go to our Facebook, YouTube. You just have to type in 3 P's in Africa. You'll get us right there. So I want to wish everybody a blessed night and see you on our next webinar. That is 1 week from now. We shall meet again. We love you so much. Don't forget to fly and then go low first.
2 weeks from now.
Yes, 2 weeks from now, actually. Sorry for that. It's 2 weeks from now. So thank you, Harry, for the correction. Don't forget to fly and go low. First, love yourself and then love others. May God bless you. We love you so much. Bye-bye.